It's cup of coffee time. Looking forward to it. And here it comes. Here is Princess Pointalot.
Yes. Prince Pointalot too.
Hello, Tony. Good evening.
Walk around the side. Every time it rains, from the laundry or that toilet, you can hear something dripping.
See, you're pointing again. We've had a sprinkling of rain, so she's on the hunt for any leaks or drips.
The lights are on.
Well,
They're all on.
maybe they won't be that on long for tonight. Got me second-hand barbecue today. Nothing flash. It's a 2-burner, came with a full gas bottle, which is a bargain. It's got one of them, so you can check what you're roasting. It's called a Cooler Bar Outdoor. It's also got one of them side burners. That works. Pretty good, Nick. Big enough for us. $120. How much they want for it, dear? 120. Oh yeah, that's all right. Don't tell them they're dreaming. That's fair price. Delivered. Plug the bugger back in now. But you'd cook a fair bit on that sort of size I've had for a number of years. Hello, Sage. Thou shalt not die. Just having a quick cuppa. Nice cup of coffee. It is 18 degrees here. Got all the cow manure and organic compost into the half wine barrels. Oop, here comes the night watchman.
That's just something. The water dripping, vibrating, something. It's just annoying.
Right. What happens when it rains? It drips. Archie's a pretty quiet town at the moment. Everywhere's quiet.
For the lights.
Yes.
I got another
Christmas.
one. No, it doesn't have to be Christmas to have lights up.
That's true. The Ghost Train, written by Mystic Angels.
Yeah.
All aboard. Tinkle, tinkle, gently falling rain. Sounds good.
So Fable was Mum's,
Cousin?
yeah, first cousin, I think. What is she to me then?
Well, she's...
Mum's mum.
Yeah, she's an auntie, and that's
In a
how you would
sense.
say it. No, in
Yeah.
real.
Get quite confusing.
I mean, if she was around your mother's home, she'd introduce you to her as your auntie, Fable.
As well?
She would introduce you. Your mum would introduce you to her as Auntie Fable.
Auntie Babel.
Sorry, Auntie
Yeah.
Fable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he died of the virus. But how
Yeah.
old was he?
Oh, I'm waiting for her to answer. Remember, her English isn't that good, so
So is... What's name there to talk to? What do we nickname her?
Sugar Plum.
Yeah, Sugar Plum.
No, I don't know. Oh, yeah, she probably is at her mum's, but they're probably busy doing stuff.
Imagine they're all pretty locked down.
Yeah,
What auntie's house did we go to? We
that
went
was Babel's.
Yeah, so her brother,
Yes.
will she be 55?
I don't know. I'll wait till she tells me. I don't even want to guess because I didn't see him.
That's Sugar Plum's mum then.
Yes,
Yeah.
Babel is, yeah.
Yeah. So is that the lights we had before?
That's the one I had on the bookcase.
The
when we
battery
were in
one.
the other street, yeah. When we were,
Or was it direct power?
no, it's battery.
Yeah, I thought that one won't last that long. Oh, that's no good. Don't think the kids have met them, have they?
No.
Steph's the only one. Who met them? Terry?
Yeah, Emily and Terry.
Oh, yeah. So in effect, he was your uncle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What was his first name?
Just look at the message. Eugene. Well, Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene.
Yeah, but that's not how you pronounce it in German. I just can't remember. Ukraine or something.
Wonder what about his family? His wife, kids?
Don't really know how many's in his family.
I'm just wondering if anyone else have got it. It's a cheeky bird on the table today.
Yeah.
He's probably trying to see if there are any biscuits for here.
Well, probably knows the tin.
Yeah. Very quiet night, isn't it? Remind yourself this is Saturday night
Yeah.
and not a noise could be heard in the village. Should start seeing more parrots shortly with that rain. 1999 to be married to listen to Num Nuts, St. Crap, you say.
Why in Brave New World? Why'd you call it that?
Oh, yes. You're in good credit with us, Night Rider. You're good for a couple of 1,000 years. Free entry.
Uh,
Was that Buttercup? No, it was Death. Death had visitors. Actually, sad news in our family today, Jojo. Just found out tonight that my wife's auntie let her know that her uncle passed away through the virus. Now, he would have been about 60, I think, at tops, if that.
done, yeah, to 60.
So that's very sad news. It affects everybody, but so my wife has lost an uncle to the virus. I never met him. Did you ever meet him?
Yep.
Yeah, so you've met him. He's Uncle Eugene. So no one's going to go untouched in this. They're in Germany. We were there this time last year.
Yeah.
It would have been going anywhere.
That's for Jojo's comment. You should charge $2,000 a month based on IQ level.
Yeah. I don't know how he's going to go charging $19.99 to listen to him repeat over and over and over the same thing. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to go unscathed, Jojo. I wish those people that haven't remain that way, but You know the old story, 6 degrees of separation.
Why do we have a fly sticking around?
Maybe it's a miniature drone sent by the government. Hello, Buttercup. I was just saying prior to you getting here, Mandy's uncle in Germany, Uncle Eugene, has passed away due to this virus. He would have been a bit younger than me, actually. That's very sad news.
Oops, I forgot to give you a kiss, Buddy. A delayed kiss, Buddy. Yes, I've got another set that I'm going to put around the big hutch. It's no use doing them around the windows, even though I'd like to.
$19.99 a month, you get to talk into a can. That's what they say around here, anyway. I am a man of constant sorrow. That could be his theme song, actually. That could be his theme song.
Yeah, a bit of a shock, Buddy, but
I met
I mean,
Babel, which is Auntie Babel,
Babel.
to Mandy. This time last year we were there in Germany. Never got to meet Eugene.
Oh, I know him though.
Yeah. I imagine it'll be a very quiet conversation, maybe with 3 or 4 people. But let's be honest, I mean, I know why people go there. It's got nothing to do with the intelligence of a derogatory sort of idiot. It's got to do with the fun that people have in the side chat. And if you've got 3 or 4 people in the side chat who have paid $19.99, I don't know how boring that would be. Because people only go there for the giggles and laughs and the mockery. And if they're not going to be able to go there, they'll stop going there.
Oh, that's what
or someone will stream him somewhere else.
That's what I was wondering, Jojo. So, if they pay the money, he can't do anything. He can't ban them, block them, nothing. I
don't know.
Wondering. Well,
I don't know.
Jojo just said that he can't.
Oh, they can't?
That's what I was wondering, Jojo. So is that for sure?
I'm pretty sure you could block anyone at any stage. I don't think paying money would do any different.
Well, Jojo says you can't ban them.
Yeah, the figures coming out the UK are still very sad. I don't know what today's figures were, but the last week have been horrendous. Yeah, look, it'd be saying you can be a member for 5 cents. Because what he doesn't realise, lots of idiots do the spur of the moment donation, and they're not going to pay $20 a month.
Oh, he has to refund them if he wants to get rid of them.
Corona Elvis. I mean, in life there is people that have inadequacies. There are people that are a bit strange. But there are people that are just plain stupid. And he comes from that family tree of plain stupid. But he's always had the battle cry that I've always heard. And a lot of people miss it, but he will use the words, "if you love me," because he doesn't have any of that in his life at all. He repeats that word ad nausea every hangout, and always will, because when someone keeps asking for it, it means they've not got it. Yeah, if someone pays to go in there, like you say, and they can just abuse him for 30 days, If he decides to ban them, he loses the money. That'd be quite ironic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure whoever it is probably the fisherman in there now, if that's what you're saying. A little bit of bait, bit of trawling. Oh, hooked him. Oh yeah, everyone should pay forward to him. I mean, he's just a poor boy. No more donations. Pay $19.99 every month. Don't think so.
Yep, fisherman, we know that, Jojo.
He'd be the sort of person, Jojo, that if you were walking your streets and handing off some food or buying someone a coffee, he'd stop you and say, "Oh, very nice of you." Then he'd say, "What sort of car do you drive? Can I go for driving it? When you get in the car, can I have it?" He's one of those people that extend, that will keep pushing until the envelope's closed. And then you're an enemy. You've always been an enemy. I hate you, yes. But if you give me something, keep giving me something, you're my friend. Friendship based on giving is a wonderful thing, as long as it's going both ways. When it's just taking, it never was a friendship.
Yeah, I suppose, Buddy, what he said's true. It's just because everyone's getting money, he feels that they should help him because they got to help. Well, he can get off his ass and help himself.
I've no doubt. Sure, I don't know how bad it is in Chicago, but there's a very good chance he won't get picked up by the Chicago PD, but more than likely by some sort of health department. Because there'll be shopkeepers worried that he's always there, parked there at night, going in and out. And that's more than likely what will happen. He'll be detained and quarantined, like they've been doing with all the homeless people. And for many of the homeless people, it's a godsend, because hopefully they won't get the virus. I mean, it's never lost to me that he is absolutely absorbed in delusion. He's an expert in every field. If he's read it, seen it, or touched it, he's now a world-renowned expert in it. Of course he's not. Everything's peripheral with him. Yeah, we're doing good. We've been kept busy. We've got our second-hand barbecue today. I filled up all the half wine barrels with cow poo and organic matter. I didn't do a video about that. Not sure how many people would watch a cow poo video, mind you. Never know. But that's the second-hand barbecue we got. It's a 2-burner with a wok burner down the other end. Looks in pretty good nick, actually. $120. Everything works on it. And no, it's not new, but it's near new, isn't it? Looking at it, I've got the sticker still on it, and full gas bottle, which is, I think, $50 here for a full gas bottle. And a new regulator. That'd be another 20, 30. So she basically gave it to us.
Yes, little lights. I got some more to put up around the hut tomorrow. I've only done it just tiny bits of sticky tape because I can't think how else to stick them on there. So I hope it holds.
No, a lot of the stuff we get, we just hunt around, we're patient. And then we think, yeah, that'll do. We probably looked at about 50, didn't we?
Well, you did. You're the Barbie man.
Well, I kept showing you, and you went, nah.
Well,
Nah. That'll be back. Yeah.
you're going to see legs, Butty. Oh, legs. Look at those legs. Today's very light. I've just been plodding along. I sort of have in my mindset, I need to do this job next, I need to put that away, I need to get that done. So I've gone from having 3 rooms full of everything to 1 room now has everything, which is good, which is what was our old kitchen. So everything's in there right now that I haven't unpacked yet. I did a bit in the front lounge. There's not much I can do until we get rid of the old white lounge that the seats sat on, and I change it around a bit and get the TV on the wall, so that'll be a kids area. Plus sometimes I'll still go sit in there. Yeah, just plodding along. You know what it's like, Butty, and you start I tend to start something and then I'll go somewhere else. Or I'll do 10 jobs at once. Yeah. So just now what's in our old kitchen, I will go through slowly. All the little jobs add up.
Oh, I did make a loaf of wholemeal bread today. That turned out pretty good. Not that hard to make bread though. There's always something about a loaf of bread cooking in your own house. That sort of bakery smell. No, Mr. Gangel doesn't iron.
No, I have an iron, no ironing board, but I only have one item of clothing that should be ironed. Is that one fly? Is it?
Yeah, a cake's a bit different, but definitely bread, the smell of bread. It's like when you walk up the high street, first thing in the morning you smell all the fresh bread being taken out of the ovens.
Yes, ironing. I can see why people charge what they do for ironing, especially if you've got to iron shirts and pants with creases in them.
Yeah, well, I own my own uniforms.
I've never pretended that I can iron.
I never said you did.
I was not put on this earth to iron.
That will be your punishment
What?
in the afterlife. No.
Yes, I used to stand for hours and iron. I used to iron a lot of things. And brought up with a mum that used to even iron pillowcases and fold sheets in at least 3 times, then iron them, or quilt covers. Man, everything Mum ironed. Mind you, she had a lot of linen that had to be ironed.
They'll be getting a small citation. I suppose the punishment will fit the crime then, Jojo.
Why in the hell would you go out in your underwear to get your mail?
Because they can't be bothered getting dressed.
Now, mind you, you can get some good irons these days. I think Emily's got like a steamer one thing, steamer something. By hanging it up and you iron it or something.
We get 4 fruit trees tomorrow. We've already got one. I think what we're all seeing is rules being made by politicians and then trying to be interpreted by authority. And the two don't really match. In Australia, 2 days ago, a repeat offender who was off a cruise ship kept leaving his hotel and coming back and going out, where he should have been staying there for 2 weeks. He's now in prison for 30 days.
Yeah, he kept going out to visit his girlfriend. What did I say? Do you know how a relative, or where was he when he got sick? At home, Jojo. It was at home, obviously, just
Went out somewhere.
went out somewhere. I'm waiting to hear a few more details, but it's a pretty small town where he lives.
His little chocolate box German village.
It
Beautiful and place.
It's just like a chocolate
Ja,
box.
Heidelheim.
Heidenheim.
Jawel. Uit Dorpte Waal.
It actually was that's where he lives, is
I know,
Heidenheim, yeah.
We drove through it. It's sort of like a long valley of the town, isn't it? Oh, he would have been out shopping or something,
He
Jojo.
died at home or in the hospital. I'm actually, if that's what you meant, Jojo, I'm waiting to hear that. I'm not
We
sure.
just know he passed.
Yeah, I just know he passed. I don't know all the details of if he was in the hospital or not yet. He must have been in the hospital because he died of the virus.
We don't know, Buttercup. What it is, we've just been informed. So we don't know any details yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear.
I think I say he was a bit younger than me. I'm 60 and I think he was 57, 58 or something. So hey, there is no barrier to this.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Plenty of young people sadly passing away.
He was Babel's older brother, so he could have been older than that.
Well, she's only 54, 55. He wouldn't be much older is what I'm saying. Just lost too many people. So how, have you figured out what the, because I can't help you, Buttercup. I saw the photo of the seedlings. I think the front ones look like radishes, but I'm not sure.
Did you ask her for another photo? Because you couldn't see the photos.
That was the condensation.
Cover, yeah. Yeah, I know, but
The
I'm
baffling
saying-
bit is like, how same family members, one gets mildly ill and one dies. It's
Yeah.
like, well, how's that?
Yeah.
It's like the virus is, how do I describe it? The virus is more potent than in some other people. It's like the way I can explain it, if you take a little bit of poison, you'll get ill. If you take a lot of poison, you'll die. And I think that's the virulent and the toxins that this virus releases throughout your body. You're just planting to see what happens. Throw them in, lassie. All right. Yeah. No worries.
Will it be a picture of Butty sitting on top of it?
Dun, 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 dun. I'm
Say
sitting on the countertop. Dun,
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 dun, dun, dun.
I'm wearing just a
Showing her
skirt.
legs.
Dun, 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 dun. Mad to the bone. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, and here's a picture of the countertop.
There'll be a picture of Butty sitting on the countertop and there'll be an optical illusion photo saying, "Can you see the countertop?"
Sharon Stonetop. I'm pretty sure lots of people have got loads of food. Just that precautionary tale of, oh, I'll just get a bit extra, which I encouraged many weeks ago. And people did it. But everyone's got plenty of food, really.
Oh, warmer than 18.
Maybe a little bit of rain has brought a bit of humidity. Actually, we haven't bought toilet paper for ages, mainly because there hasn't been any.
Yeah, apparently it's still a case you've got to go early. Like, if we want our, I mean, we're okay, we've still got some. We want our brand that we like to use, I have to go earlier.
Yeah, I sure like your toilet paper ribbed.
So do you.
Yes,
But that one that
it's
was,
got good grippage.
the one that was down the shop, I just thought that was a ridiculous price. When I pay for Kleenex, $15 for 32 rolls, and this pack of Sorbet was $10 for 12 rolls.
Well, I asked you how many we had, and you said we got about 20 toilet paper rolls, so that's good for another month more. So not as if we're short, but we normally buy the big bulky pack once every few months, don't we?
Yeah, the 32.
We love
Yes. Buddy's comment, that was funny. Yeah, optical illusion photo.
Yes. Some countries just use the finger, Jojo.
Hey, I've grown up using
Apparently.
newspaper. When there was no dunny paper, I was the one who had to cut the newspaper up into squares. put a hole in it, tie it on with a bit of string. Yeah, I can send. I have sent you a photo in WhatsApp. It's funny. That's what Buddy's talking about. I'll
Oh,
show
okay.
you. But you haven't looked at your WhatsApp, have you?
Well, I can't because I'm broadcasting live around the world for $19.99 a month. That's cool, isn't it? Just a wee little toilet paper now, but it'll end up being a big shit.
Oh, I love some of the memes that people are coming out with. Their imagination. Hang on, Jojo, are you there? Tell me if Jojo answers.
Okay, I'll tell you when he does or he doesn't.
Night Rider.
He's not answering it.
Night Rider. Are you there?
He's here.
Okay. Tell me.
Down, and closer, bend it forward a bit. You see the little plant that Buttercup's growing there?
See the toilet roll in water, Jojo? See, it's growing a little toilet paper. It's a seed.
Like I say, it's only a wee little toilet paper now, but end up growing up to be a big shit. Yes, he confirms. Yes, I'm pretty sure I would make this suggestion to everybody, even though I don't have to do it because I do a daily thingy on here, so mine's there. But I'd encourage all of you maybe to get a diary and go back to the beginning of this time and write down things, your thoughts, what happened, trouble getting food, etc., confinement. Could be something to reflect back on
Yeah,
as the years unroll.
I've told the kids to do that. The little things that they'll remember, but there'll be the little things they'll forget that were important. Or funny little things, you know. Yeah, that was funny. When I sent it to Buddy, she messages me back and says, "What is that? What are you growing?" She didn't have her glasses on. Oh yeah, I did go check him out just to see his shaved head. I mean, he is pretty disgusting. He's got worse, hasn't he? It must have been so hard controlling himself when he was at Rose's all that time. Having to shower and be clean.
That's good. We've had a scheme in Australia for a while, Jojo, like say you buy 80 gig a month for whatever, and you only use about 60. Well, to cover yourself, what you can do is you can donate 10 gig to a child or family that don't have the internet and they don't get charged. In other words, it's just part of your plan.
Yeah,
And
you're
that's
donating.
pretty common.
Yeah, buddy, there is just some dirty people in the world, isn't there? Yeah, because people forget not everybody has the internet. Then I I sometimes wonder how some people actually have it when they have no money, when they have nothing else.
They can afford to beg.
Yeah, but they have internet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They have all these gadgets and, you know, the latest phone, yet they've got no money to pay bills. They don't quite get that.
Yeah, I imagine the bandwidth is even larger than when people work, because you may be on the internet in your office, but you're not searching and looking and watching videos, whereas because a lot of people at home, that's what they'll be doing. So I'm pretty sure a lot of internet companies are probably stretched on bandwidth.
Yeah.
Yes. You wouldn't want to try and download or upload something in a house like that. I was listening to a show, I'm trying to remember the town in the UK. It'll come to me shortly. But they've always had a shopping centre that closes down at night time, but the homeless can sleep inside the shopping centre. In other words, there are toilets and they can sleep on the floor, whatever, and they would be fed by groups of people every night. Because of the new laws, they can't. They're all in hotels. But the people that used to feed them say it's a nightmare because these hotels just have a bedroom and maybe a kettle, no fridge, and there's a problem. But they can't go back to the shopping centre. I'm trying to remember the town in the UK. I'm sure it's not a lone sheep. It's where basically 20% of the population are homeless in a town in the UK. But because they're in hotels, the food that's available from each night, it's not there. They're probably getting a few extra bob, but it'd be strange for a homeless person to be actually in a room and comfortable, but no food available at night time, no fridge. Strange. But they are very vulnerable because in time, when they're homeless for a period of time, they'll end up with a group of friends and they usually sleep fairly close to each other to protect each other. And of course, during these times, that's not a good idea. So that's why governments have been ripping them off the streets and put them in hotels. But this is what will happen in most countries. I hope it doesn't, but as soon as there's a semi-normality come back, they'll all be given the flick. Get back on the streets. See you later. London's very pretty, but there are loads of homeless people. A huge amount. The city that probably shocked me more than anywhere was Frankfurt, where on every doorstop, because we went for evening walks, on every doorstop there'd be Romanians, you know, gypsies, with 3 or 4 kids, mother, grandmother, all huddled in the doorway of, say, a carpet store or something. And every door had people living in it. It's very sad. And there's a lot of, well, you have to use the word, there's a lot of racism, but when they opened the floodgates of the Union, people flocked to richer countries like Germany, France, England, and they had the consequence. That's why England will be gutted of a lot of foreigners shortly. It'll take about 2 or 3 years for, if you like, independence from the European Union to actually be enforced, But you won't be able to get in the UK if you're in the Union, not like before. You've been there, yeah. It's probably at its peak around Frankfurt Station. There's heaps of police there, always been there.
Yeah.
I remember speaking to an old Anglican priest who gave up being a priest, didn't give up talking about it, but gave up being a priest to work full-time with the homeless because his church got annoyed with him saying you're spending more time with the homeless than you are in the church, so you make your mind up. And he said, fine, I'll go with the homeless. But he said something to me, this is 30 years ago. He said, there's one thing that people misunderstand about the homeless. He said, the main thing about homeless people is they're lost. They don't know what they want. They don't know where they want to be. They're very lonely. And just that little sit down he'd have with them, give them a cup of coffee and chat, just talking with them. He said they'd be looking forward to catching up with him. It was like a highlight of their day or week if he only saw them once a week. So the homeless, he said he's got to be brutal. He said a lot of homeless don't go hungry. So hunger's not a problem. Shelter is an issue, obviously. But they get entrenched in being lost in their minds, like they don't know Arthur or Martha. They don't know what they want or how to achieve it. And then they get comfortable in that zone. So as the years have gone by, I actually look back at this Anglican priest and really admire him because he didn't give up on his God. He gave up on the institution that said, make a choice. And he said, I have. Goodbye. He spent, I think he told me, he spent probably a couple of years being homeless deliberately. He had money in the bank. But he got to learn a lot about what he just told me, which is how most of these people are just lost. It's a good contribution, Jojo, because it's time that you're giving them. It's what people don't give them. They don't give them the time of the day. They don't even look at them. And you know why? Because people think that homeless people are going to be aggressive. In fact, it's complete reverse. The homeless are terrified of people walking by. But that's not the perception from a young woman or middle-aged man thinking, oh, that old guy in the corner might attack me. It's not true at all. It's the reverse. They're terrified.
Well, I don't know. I've heard of cases of homeless getting attacked, but I've got to say I've never heard of a homeless attacking anyone. Have you?
Well, when a couple of homeless
suppose
guys
it
get
happens.
drunk, there'll be
Yeah.
a blue, but no.
I mean, go out deliberately. Like you hear stories of homeless, someone walking past it or a group and they just decide to punch him, kick him for nothing.
Yeah, and kill them sometimes.
Yeah. But then you've also got some homeless that choose that. They don't want anything else. They don't want to live in anywhere.
No, I told you the story about the old guy that used to come to prison all the time, usually for contempt of court. He was always brought before the judge for vagrancy. Never did any crime at all.
He just
He'd
didn't
always
wanna-
get 30 days.
Yeah, he just wanted to be out.
And he'd get cleaned up, eat 3 meals a day. Very pleasant man, but didn't want to live in a house.
No.
Wanted to just sleep down by the rocks or under an old bridge. He was happy. He was telling us that he goes to 2 churches. One was a Seventh-day Adventist for lunch. There was him and about 3 other homeless people that went there for lunch. Sat at the table, had lunch with them. And then at night time there was another Anglican church that dished up meals and gave them some sandwiches for later on. He said, I never went hungry. Yeah, I think so. I think it's that breaking point, Jojo. It's like their mental health actually improves becoming homeless, which sounds a weird statement to make. Well, it's that me mentality, Buttercup. They see nothing. And like I say, I hope this pandemic shakes a little bit of the me out of them, because it's us that count. I get really annoyed, and Jojo would have it happen in the US, and you would have it happen in the UK, Buttercup, where these highfalutin politicians spend one night homeless.
One night, yeah. With designer anoraks
It's
on.
more to do with PR than it is to do with humanity. I spent the night roughing it. I had a steak and salad at the restaurant first, and then I got a sleeping bag, and I got a mattress delivered, and then I slept on top of that, and then I was a bit cold in the night, so I ordered pizza. And yeah, no, I know what it's like to rough it. Really? It's like kids. You'd see them all the time, Jojo, particularly young girls, 13, 14, maybe even younger, on the streets, maybe sleeping in a little old broken down house, whatever, because going home is not an option, whether it's a sexual assault or it's beatings, or there isn't really much of a home to go to. So people should never look at kids in particular on the street with any disdain. They're there for a reason. Could be mental health issues, but if they've been sexually assaulted, I mean, why wouldn't you as a young girl get away? Like I say, their mental health improves getting away from that type of lifestyle. And I've said it before, what we lost. When I was a kid, I could walk the streets where my mother's family came from in Manchester. Everybody knew everybody. No matter where I go, they wanted to feed me, give me food, talk to me, and it was like a big village, a community. And you'd hear people yell like, no, he's down here, don't worry about it, we'll send him home. Yeah, no worries, just giving him some food, yep. So there was that village community mentality where everyone looked after each other. That's gone. It's like it's evaporated. We've been taught to be cynical. That's something that's never mentioned though, isn't it, Jojo? You'll hear, I've watched American broadcasts saying, these teenagers are causing trouble on the streets. They should be in their own homes. Well, no. Home is the problem. The streets are not. One of the most common things, and I used to deliver drug and alcohol programs, and one of the common things you would hear is that problem. They left home because home was a nightmare. And when asked the simple question, why did you start taking drugs? Rarely was it, oh, because my friend was, so I thought I'd try it. No, the simple answer was, I was bored. That is the most simplistic answer of truth you'll ever get. Oh, I'll try it. Well, beats the hell out of being bored. Oh, raising a family's never been easy, and you can't give your kids the blueprint and say, follow this and it'll make your life easier. because it's always different. It's always, there's always maybe one kid in the family has issues and it affects the rest of the family. But generally, runaway teens run away for a reason. I know there was, this is old Aboriginal culture, and it would be, if a tribe was having, we're talking thousands of years, this is not like just this week, thousands of years of practice, they would marry daughters off to another tribe, the four crossings between tribes. That's pretty common through many native peoples. But if they had a child that was just a pain in the bum, the agreement was another village would take him. Now, they really didn't do anything to him, but it was the fact that he was now in a different circumstance. Each village had different ways of doing things, that he would conform, usually out of fear. And then after a period of time, the elders would say he can come back. In other words, he's matured. But no one was ever punished. They were just moved or shunted around to say, well, where you were was pretty good when you think about it. And they go, yeah, it was. Didn't appreciate it. Like I didn't want to go out hunting and wanted to sleep all day underneath the coolabah tree. But there are many ways of how punishment rarely works. Yeah, it still goes on here in Australia. We've got over 800 tribes in Australia. Where I grew up in this state, I grew up with three tribes. One was Wangai, the Northers, Yamaji, which was the Midwest where I lived, and also Nyunga, which is from where I am now. And they all get on fairly well. It's usually when the grog kicked in at the turn of the 20th century that lots of problems happened. But they still have the elders today trying to live. One of the most amazing things I remember about the Amish, I've always admired them, was probably about 10 years ago, Jojo, when that guy killed, I think, 10 or 11 girls. And the first thing the Amish people did was forgive him. And I thought, I don't know if I could, but they did. But it is a brave new world we live in. You're going to have to be brave. You've got to learn to shake, rattle and roll. I know this sounds ridiculous, Buttercup, but the best way to treat the drug problem of the world is to legalise every known substance. In other words, there is no criminology involved in people taking drugs. As soon as that's removed, then you maybe can start to address the situation. There are so many people in jails all over the world for drug-related crime. They'll steal Jojo's telly worth $10,000 and get $100 for it. $100 is enough, get a couple of little baggies for that. Yeah, that's good. But you decriminalise the drug, then you can address or start to address the problem. Because it's not what the drug is, it's why it's been taken. No one ever asked why. They just charged them, line them up, take your photo, give you a uniform, 6 months. Yeah, you'll love Ireland. Like you say, you've been there before. Beautiful little place. Maybe pop in and see Buttercup. You'll find her place. She's the one wearing the yellow, pink polka dot bikini, gardening. Oh, there she is.
Looking for hedgehogs.
See, scaring drug takers doesn't work. You can show drug takers dead bodies with needles in them, all these sort of things. Doesn't work. It's not the drug. The question has to be why. You know, why not go fishing? No, I can't be bothered to take drugs. So why do you take drugs? Because, and this is the most common answer to that question, because it takes me out of this world.
It makes them feel good for 5 minutes. And then they need more, because 5 minutes isn't enough.
No. But the answer I got many years ago repeatedly of, I didn't take the drugs because my peers did, I took them because I was bored. What sort of world do we have where the young men and women of our planet are bored? Yes, Dublin. You'll be on the high street of Dublin, not down the lower side. Charge you began where they charge you 4 times for the same Guinness in the same street. Further up the street, you get it for £1. Down the other end, it's £5.
See, when I was in, that started in primary school for us, Butty. We had all that.
What's that?
6th class, like learning a little bit of finance, cooking, all that stuff, and then that transitioned into high school.
What did they used to call it? Home education, wasn't it?
Cooking
Home
was
economics?
economics was cooking,
Yeah.
but we also did finance stuff. I mean, back then when we used to have checkbooks, we had to learn to write a check, balance a checkbook and all that sort of stuff, but I actually don't know what they teach in high school these days, to be honest. Out of the loop.
It's what they've stopped teaching is life skills. There isn't any life skills.
And history about your own country. Social studies, history, economics a little bit of your own country.
Just imagine getting a bunch of university students who have no idea to cook, spend far too much on fast food, but show them 2 or 3 simple recipes. I mean, most of them would have spaghetti bog most of the week. They're going, oh, this is easy. That is the main problem, Buttercup, in my eyes. The access to play money.
Yeah.
Credit cards. It's a very bad habit to get into. But there are no life skills being taught. And the best way for people to learn is to do. And if that means bring back home economics, where they've got to learn to fry an egg, boil some spaghetti.
They do a bit. There is some schools in Australia that have a very good teaching program, and there's some schools that actually, a lot of the lessons are outdoor. They do so much study, and then the rest is life skills and doing stuff outside when weather permits. Then there's another school that actually takes pregnant young girls and girls who are young, that should be still at school, with their young babies. They have a special set up where they take their babies, they go do so many classes, go back to their babies, come back. So
It's like people say, oh, that should be eradicated. You're never going to eradicate the hormones of young men and women. That will always happen.
No, but
It shouldn't be punished for it, is what I'm
it's
saying.
giving these and guys. There's only 1 or 2 schools in Australia that do it though.
remember listening to YouTube where this guy, his mum and grandmother taught him how to cook really young. And when he went to college, he would buy food and cook it and spend only like $20 a week on food. But he'd spent $80 a week on grog. And all these other kids were buying fast food. And I always say, how come you've always got money for beer and spirits? He says, because I shop and I cook for myself. You guys order pizza, takeaway, burgers. He said, I make everything you eat at home for a tenth of the price.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I've seen those programs, Butty. They grab a couple of young, whether they're boyfriend, girlfriend, living together or not together. They give these lifelike babies. I think it's about a week.
There was a family called the Hatifs, Lebanese,
Yes.
that end up half of them are dead.
Yeah.
Gangs, warfare, etc. Gangs don't do that well in Australia. The only ones that seem to survive are bikie gangs, but they're under such a tight regime now.
They are.
We've got a separate prison just for bikies.
But they're you just look at their morals though. Like once you're in the gang, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, most of them, you do as you say. But they look after the family to a point. But it's pretty, yeah, a lot of it's, you don't hear a lot. They keep quiet because they don't want
I
to
think trafficking of women in particular and girls is horrendous. Particularly those people like, I remember the story from Indonesia where I think 30 of them were recruited, trained, learned to speak a little bit of Saudi, then was sent for 2-year contracts. They used to get beaten, raped, punched, cell phones removed, locked in rooms. And I'm thinking, what people think to do these things?
I know, sick.
I have a bike story. No, it's a joke, isn't it, Jojo? Now, come on, tell the truth. It's a joke. This is what we call a leading question. Gain our attention. Yes, you have a bike story. Right. What's it about?
Oh, do my lights look like they're fading already or not? They probably take a lot of battery power. But
Did
it's
you
all
put
right.
new batteries in it?
Yeah, because I don't
They go all night.
I don't store things with batteries in them. I won't turn them on every night.
We'll just get the ones that plug into the wall. We've got solar power now.
Yeah, sometimes where I want to put them though, that's a bit hard. That's why I use the battery ones. We wait with anticipation for the bike story.
Once upon a time.
Knight Rider. Oh, it's one of those days. I haven't actually sat around a lot, but we're yawning a lot.
Yes, very similar to me actually. I was about 15. I used to be into motocross. Got invited to go to Sydney. Went there. And my very first day practicing, these guys were hurrying up this big hill and then they'd disappear. Well, I did the same thing, except they were taking a hard right. I just took a straight forward and landed in the local tip, smashed my head, I had a helmet on a rock, destroyed the bike, and I sat up thinking, no, this really isn't worth it. It was just an accident, but at an early age I thought, bikes, humans, not a great combination. The thing about motorbikes in particular, the airbags don't work that well.
Yeah. I used to go on a lot of bikes, but I wouldn't now. I rode on one straight into a barbed wire fence. So I never got on again.
Oh, they're great fun while the fun's being had. A friend of mine back in my hometown, all he collected was Indians. Man, he had a range of bikes and he fixed them up. They all worked. You take one out on the weekend for about a 20-minute drive. Put, put, put. Beautiful bikes. So he's got a whole warehouse full of them. He just likes them because they're pretty and shiny. Are you saying the boyfriend or the bike? Easy rider. I can just see your boyfriend, Marlon Brando.
I heard, buddy.
That little aviation cap on. Get on the back, buddy. We're going for a ride. I can't remember the amount of bikes, but he's went back earlier than that as well. He spent all his money just restoring bikes for probably 30 years. He owns restaurants. As soon as he'd knock off, back into the shed.
There's a lot of money in the early bike parts.
Once he got tempted and he bought a BSA. It was a British one from about 1948, 50. And he fixed it up and sold it. He says, I can't leave this with my Indians. He didn't want to have anything but Indians. He thought he'd try, but he said it was a blemish every time he walked into his warehouse. Yeah, you pay. It's like finding parts. Like he would go to the US, spend 2 or 3 months, usually going into the backwoods, get a lead somewhere, and then of course people speak. Yeah, and I know the guy in Ohio. He's got some stuff. You know, the unwhispered chain of information that people share, because like him, they were enthusiasts. He'd chase down carbies and mufflers and even side steps that were missing or bent or damaged. And he'd try and get the exact year side step. Maybe he'd tell me, oh, I'll get 5 of them, but they're like 2 years younger and I want the same one. I'm thinking, geez, you're fussy. He said, no one would know except me, but I would know. He was very pedantic that way. His name was Colin, and his father used to restore old vehicles, and he got into that, but it was like riding bikes. And obviously someone showed him an Indian one day and he fell in love with it. He's got some of the paraphernalia that goes with it too, like signs and oil cans and advertising paraphernalia. Yeah, that's the only way to get them in Australia is to have them as parts. In fact, they're the whole bike, but they're parts because the importation duty is horrendous. It's something like 40 or 50%. If I bought, say, my son-in-law did it. He bought a Camaro. He bought it to Australia in parts, reassembled here, drive changed, of course, from left to right. 120 grand all up. But if he'd have just brought, brand new, this is a 2019 Camaro he bought. He bought it brand new. But if he'd have bought the vehicle to Australia, it would have been about 170,000. So he bought all the car in parts, had it assembled. There's companies, as you know, you deal with them, that do that for a living. There's 10 boxes and inside of it is a whole car. They pay 10% doing it that way, goods and services tax. But a luxury vehicle tax is horrendous. I, for some reason, have had no real interest in getting flash cars. I could have bought them. I just don't have any interest in them. Like I'm just a logical thinker. I'm thinking my car there at the moment, it sits there most of the day, just looking at me. And I'm thinking, yeah, that could be a $100,000 car or a $10,000 car. I'll go for the $10,000 car. Doing that with a Mustang.
Did you get a $10,000 car too?
No, I didn't. I was saying I could have a $100,000 car, but I prefer a $10,000 car. New Zealand, no problem.
Apparently, isn't Kawasaki older than Harley,
No.
Jojo? Yeah. One of,
I don't think so.
there is a brand older than Harley. They reckon Harley's the older. There's another brand. I'm sure it's Kawasaki.
No, I don't think so. Jojo
Jojo?
can correct us, but Kawasaki's not older than Harley. I did see a couple of years ago on a television show, Jojo, a wooden motorcycle from about 1910, I think. A turbo Renault.
I could picture that.
It was like a skateboard attached to a rocket. My first vehicle was the same age I am.
Mine
It was a 1959 VW with running boards. And when you indicated, you had to flick the little switch on the turret on either side. I'm going right. Oh, I'm going left. Koei, Japan, 1962. Yeah, it's not nowhere near as old as Harley.
Somewhere I watched a show, Jojo, like somebody, there was, I don't know, something about,
I think I read a story where Harley not only started before the turn of the 20th century, they were making other stuff.
Suzuki, maybe Suzuki?
No, they're all relatively new. Kawasaki, Suzuki. Triumph is probably an older model, I think, Jojo. I think that might be after the turn of the 20th century, but I think it's fairly old. Yeah, but this wooden motorcycle looked pretty cool, actually. Crafted like you wouldn't imagine. I know there was a big push on motorised bikes at one stage in the US. They had a fairly big flourish of them early in the 20th century. Yeah, I imagine it would be. It was actually original paint. It was black. Had the tiny little V-dub motor, the original Adolf motor, if you like, oil-cooled. But it just ran like a champ. The gears were a bit sloppy. I always found it quite funny. It changed from first, it'd be like a foot and a half up. Second, foot and a half down or more, 2 feet down. Got it, yeah, good. The sloppiest gearbox ever made. Triumph was 1940 gen, yeah. I admire older vehicles and older bikes, etc. But when you drive on the freeways or the highways today, if you took the emblems off all the cars, you'd never pick who made them because they're all the same. There's, 90% SUVs that some are four-wheel drive that will never see dirt, ever. But people buy them. They'll spend 100,000 on a Toyota SUV, all the whiz bangs, but they never see dirt. Yeah, the old VW gearbox was funny. I mean, they were just so simple.
I had a station wagon VW.
Oh, that was a bit
Did you
late.
ever-
That's probably the 70s
Did you
you're
ever
talking about.
see them?
Yeah, they're sort of
didn't-
trying to imitate Volvo at one
They
stage, I
didn't
think.
make many, but it was a station wagon, but it was a VW.
Mm.
I had a Mini Moke. Oh my god.
They were funny. A golf cart on wheels.
Yeah.
No, that was a good old car. I got that 1959 VW up to 100 mile an hour. Mind you, it did feel like I was floating on the ocean. Otherwise, there wasn't much control at that speed. I tell you how well they were made, Jojo. I actually used to park behind a tyre company when I was a young man when I had it. And I used to slide in there and, a bit too much sand one day. And there was a running rail and I hit, the handle on the front of the VW. Well, it dented in about 1.5 foot. I thought, shit.
No, you won't get...
My old mate came out, old Tui Renstead, he had a rubber hammer. He came out, he says, I'll fix it. He went, boink. You wouldn't even know that there was a dent in there.
You won't get me in a Mini.
A fig leaf turbo.
You won't get me in a Mini, buddy.
Sold it for $5.
I'm talking about a Mini Moke. That's different to a Mini. Do they not have Mini Mokes over there?
Yeah, they do. In the UK, they have Mokes. And the US have loads of Mokes. They're sort of a 70s toolbox on wheels. Yeah, I can't believe it. He just came out, banged it from behind with a rubber mallet. Whoop, and it came. Good morning, Fig Leaf.
We are putting lights around the windows in your honour, Fig Leaf.
Yes, we're highlighting the window, of course.
After I get the curtains on.
Hello, Sean.
No, minis I don't like. A Mini Moke is different to them. I used to like driving the Mini Moke.
For about a year, I owned an Austin Kimberley. Had all the wood grain in it. Sort of medium-sized sedan of that era. I think it was about a 1970 or 72 or something like that. Austin Kimberley.
I think Chamo better get a star. I'll give him 2 stars.
I guess your trip is not going to happen, Sean, as our trip's not happening.
Chamo calls Buddy beautiful cup.
Who does? Fig.
Chamo, yeah. She gets so many different names.
Ah, well, time's on our side.
Well,
Sure,
we don't
just
get to go.
When it happens, it happens.
Yeah, we're not going to America, Sean.
No, I don't go to a country that's rioting with zombies and skin falling off their face.
I think we were going back to visit Buttercup or go to New Zealand before we go to America now.
Yeah, New Zealand's looking good. Might spend a month just travelling
Mate.
around.
The urge has not left me. I still want to go to America, I just don't know when it's going to happen.
Next lifetime. Yeah, I think you're better off travelling somewhere like that, mate. Like we'll probably go to New Zealand. Like Australians have taken this very seriously, and so have New Zealand. we have very few deaths, and everyone's staying home, and the government's looking after people with money, so there's no panic on money. Boredom and frustration, yeah.
Oh god, it was stolen. Yeah, that's not good.
My 1959 V-Dub cost
wow.
$20.
I was covered in snow. Did you read JoJo's comment?
No, it's too quick for me. Ah. Snowstorm. And I think it's going to be a good thing, is that a lot of people will be wary of travelling international. But they might try to discover their own countries. Because a lot of people live in beautiful places but have never visited them themselves. So it could be a great opportunity of self-discovery of your own countries. But we've been to New Zealand, it's beautiful. It's like Ireland, but they talk funny.
Yeah. Not as historical as Ireland, though.
No, that doesn't compare to
No.
the culture.
Imagine you getting into a Mini.
Yeah, it's not comfortable, trust me.
I mean, a VW is bad enough. Your knees are up around your ears.
No, V-Dub, actually, Jojo backed me up. The old V-Dubs were quite well designed. Get plenty of leg room.
Yeah, Mum had one. She loved her VW.
Geez, I must be old. My first car cost $20.
20.
$20.
Oh.
And do you know in the very first Harry Potter movie, there was a car, a blue one. It was a Ford Anglia, 1962. Exactly the same car I bought. That was my second car, a 1962 Ford Anglia. And built like a tank.
Oh, you can pay for all of this, JoJo.
The Elpis clan. Oh, yeah, that's going to be... Jojo explained what was going on there. Just for $19.95 a month, you can sit there and I'll just repeat myself to you directly. Yeah.
Oh,
The delusion runs deep. Oh, we got tinkle, tinkle, a little bits of rain.
yeah.
It's excitement.
Excitement. Speaking of excitement, Mum must be working. Calling him a muppet is actually insulting the Muppets, Sean. Seems to be a few more trains than usual tonight.
It's just the same train going backwards and forwards.
The ghost
Just trying
train.
to look busy. Actually, you notice there's no buses coming past?
They do during the day, maybe they don't.
Not many though. Old Hillman Hunter, eh? Oh dear. Oops. Sorry, Uncle. I mean, stepfather. Well, Jojo mentioned that, Sean, and I think we probably all know who that membership is. To Kill a Mockingbird.
He did get one. You're kidding, Sean. Oh, Buddy, that wouldn't be funny. Bet you didn't go with stepdad again. Well, you did say somebody would pay it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I know who would have paid it.
Who?
Well, let's say he goes fishing occasionally. I wouldn't know, Shamo. So there's two, is there? Okay. You can do a lot of havoc for $19.99, apparently.
Oh dear. Yeah, I suppose there'd be some idiot. Well, I don't know if they're idiots. They would have paid for a reason.
Oh, a bit of conniving going on, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure you could still go watch Shamo and laugh without interacting.
Chimo wouldn't join.
I can't be bothered. It's just the same shit on a different day. And as certain as the sun comes up and goes down, his demise is imminent.
Sometimes it comes across the feed. I have a quick look. I had to check out his supposed head shape thing.
Yeah, he got a head like a fucking orange now. No, Shamo. It's like, I mean, your best can be explained that there's a lowest denominator in life, and it can come in many forms. If you're driving down the road and you see smoke, and you think, well, there could be a house fire, you'll probably detour, drive around. Oh, it's a house on fire. Jeez, yeah, terrible. Watch it for 20 minutes. Fire brigade, watch that, then drive off. Then you'll hear two people screaming and shouting. You happen to be walking the other way, but you happen to turn around and just sort of walk up very casually and lean up against the wall, listen to the argument and think, wow, look at that. That's a bit like why people go to watch him, if you get my drift. It's the morbid curiosity.
Yeah, well, I have better things to spend my money on.
I'd send you $20 in a heartbeat.
It's just teasing you.
But if you did spend it to do what you're suggesting, I would fly to Canada.
And rip your fig leaf off.
I don't know who you are, but I would find you. And when I find you, I will kill you. Thank you, Liam. That's all right. You can use it any time you like.
Well, some do it, Buddy, for just to stay in that bit so that they can keep going needling him and stirring him.
Yeah, it's like
tease
kids,
him.
you know, kids with a magnifying glass over an anthill. Oh, look at that one hop. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Oh, look at the legs curl up on that one. Yeah. I'm not that funny. It's just the way I'm drawn. But there's a lot of things in life far more rewarding than watching an imbecile repeat himself, living in a land of delusion.
Oh,
Hello,
come on.
Patty.
You've got to admit, sometimes it's funny watching him.
The absurdity's funny, of course. Like, I'm going to show you how to cook. I did watch a portion of that video where he was boiling a steak. I fast forward 3 hours. He was still boiling the steak. And he's a culinary expert, of course. And then he'll make a bucket of gravy. Put it on everything. It's got to have gravy, Mom. You don't have to have gravy and cornflakes. I want gravy on my cornflakes, Mom. Okay. Really? Well, I made a loaf of bread today. And I shoveled probably a ton of cow shit and organic compost into wine barrels. I did clean my fingernails thoroughly before kneading the bread, by the way. But I'm not sure whether he could shovel one shovelful of dirt. He can shovel crap. He does that all every day. And I don't think he'd make a loaf of bread. It's like, I want you all for one moment. Here we go. This is funny. I want you all imagine that you're a career officer and he's sitting down in front of you. All right? And you're going to ask him questions about what skills do you have and what can I put down on your resume? You'd all have very long faces listening to him talk for about 2 hours, repeating the same thing about how he's an expert in all these fields. And you'd put nothing on paper because it'd be like, next. You can make good money as long as you're willing to work. I have done all sorts of jobs in my life. No, you don't get to see any more windows, Shema. You've been barred
Yes,
from windows.
you will. No, he is going to see windows because when the curtains are up, everybody's going to see that.
Well, no, you're going to hide.
No.
You're going to hide the window with the curtain.
No, I will have the curtains open during the day, obviously.
Right.
And then I will put pretty lights around them.
I haven't finished the last window, Shamo, because
and you
my
will
shoulder
see
is
it.
pretty sore.
Yes, Seeds has got a sore shoulder.
That was explained to us the other night, Patty, that apparently you need, if you're on a desktop or a laptop, you need the Chrome extension. Now, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just remember what was said.
Shamo, you can...
And then you can click on somebody after you put the extension on and go to their channel. Now, if you're going to ask me how do you do that, I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, Shamo, if you could remember... I can't remember what it was called. You can only do it on your laptop or an Android. You can't do it with an iPhone.
On the desktop, I was told you could do it.
Yeah, desktop, laptop, Android.
Yeah,
not iPhone.
What's wrong with earning $320 a day? There you go. Shamu's just put the link in there for you, Patty. Click on that and away you go. Then you can click on Shamo's name and find out who he really is. I reckon he's from the Eastern Bloc. Just puts on a Canadian accent in his text. You know, he's probably working for Putin. KGB.
Okay, when you clicked on it, Patty, have you clicked on it? Because then Shamo will have to take that link out of the room.
Yeah.
Because it's not a YouTube link. Just tell us when you've clicked on it, Patty, so then Shamo can take the link out.
He's already retracted.
Thank you.
Now click on Chamo's name, Patty, and send us the report by morning.
What would JJ say? $320 a day plus benefits. What's that for?
It's just working. You could make a couple of grand a week working.
Yeah, talk about that. So the ongoing Windows saga won't be finished yet.
You're just going to punish Fig Leaf
Yes.
to the day he dies.
Yes.
And as we lower his coffin into the ground, we're going to put a very large fucking window on top. Not a coffin lid, but a fucking window. And every day, small children of the village will come past and urinate on the window. The window of hell.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, Buddy. So if I need to know any info on anybody, can you please secretly message me?
But if you don't know the truth, just make it up anyway.
It's important.
Shamo is a gay cross-dresser from Russia,
Stop it.
currently living in Canada in a small RV
With a fig leaf.
with fucking windows all around it. There is no roof, it's just a window van. And he has a shower and a toilet in there as well. Russians are strange like that.
Oh, what's this one, Chama? Let me have a look. Okay.
There you go. How to channel. Chamo's put in the link.
Yep, I've saved that one.
Yes, I'm going to see my optometrist next week and send Shamo a set of reading glasses made in the shape of small windows. And I'll be saying a little note on the bottom of the gift saying, look into it.
Yeah. Oh, you can leave the YouTube one up. That's okay, Chamo.
And the thing is, Jojo, that's just normal. Like, if you want to get ahead in life, you got to put in, because that's what you get out of it. Put nothing in, well, there's the same reward.
Yeah, it's YouTube links are okay. It's anything outside of YouTube they can.
Strike me,
Yeah.
remove my windows, leave me looking like I'm in a cave with the wind, cold breeze blowing through. Thanks, Gemma.
I see you've done it, but okay, so it's working. Cool. Now we just need a stranger to come in the room so that you can.
Yes, we'll now make you and Patty the Gestapo of the room. You should check them out, hunt them down, and if need be, destroy them.
And what else did she say? That when you've got that it takes, when you go look at someone's channel, it takes you to their original name, because you know how sometimes people use the same channel but change their name? Takes you, shows you all the names they've had or the original name or something, and then takes you back to what they are now.
Yeah, you can check mine out if you like.
Yeah, well, we don't
It's
have
just
it.
the one channel
Yeah,
for
exactly.
10 years.
I think they've done this for a reason, because so
Where
people
have all the chamos gone?
can
Fig leaf is wilting.
track.
Where have all the chamos gone? Fig leaf is gone. Don't ever lose the window videos.
Fine, Chamo, I understand.
Something different for Chamo. I spent an enormous sum of money of $120 today, Chamo, and this is not a window. It's just a simple 2-burner
And sexy leaves, buddy.
barbecue, cast iron. It's got a little side burner thing here, which is pretty flash. It works. Put your feet to the fire now, Shamo. I want you to talk. Yes, you're from Leningrad, aren't you? Yes, you're Russian, aren't you? Yes. It's hardly been used, which is good. But I bought that today, 120, and we got that the other day for 100, 220 bucks. Barbecue sort of food on there, cook on there, eat over here.
Show the lights while you're up.
Oh, the wife's proud of her little lights.
Open the door, go in.
But we can see here. This looks like we're looking in on people having Christmas and we're outside in our urchin clothing. I wish we could go in there one day.
Oh, okay, Gemma.
See down there? See that? That's a rock on the floor. That's a rock, all
That's
right?
my amethyst.
And
I
another
found
one over
that.
there. There. There's another rock.
That's my quartz crystals. I also found that. I dug them up.
There's my wine barrels full of cow shit and compost, and there's the wife's fairy garden.
I found those.
So, didn't even, other than looking through the window. And there's more windows.
I had to dig for that amethyst.
She has many crystals.
Yep, I've got,
I just hear Jojo on the 12th floor open the window saying, I want to break free.
yes, I've got a lot of other crystals I haven't unpacked yet. I must do that. I must give them air, cleanse them, put them in the rain, the sun. I sound all weird now.
Yeah.
My crystals have been locked up for a long time.
Well, they're probably 3 or 4 million years old, so that extra time locked in a small box hasn't bothered them. She's already got a frog ornament out there.
Oh yeah, I've got one of them. One with a coin in the mouth. Actually, I need new coins. I have one. You put it inside your front door too, facing in, to keep the money in the house.
No, that was just a barbecue, Shamo. 2 burner barbecue. I think they're about 450, 500 new, but this is near new, but 120. Yeah, full gas bottle, new regulator, bargain. Do you notice we're always outside? Always outside. With the front porch fixed, we'll be outside there too. We like being outside.
No, I haven't got a heart-shaped crystal, but one of my grandkids found a heart-shaped rock. We went for a walk, can't even remember when or where, and he found a heart-shaped rock.
Don't get a French frog from Quebec.
Oh, okay. Oh, go away. Yeah, fly? Is that a fly? Better be. Or a cane toad either. I won't put a cane toad outside the door.
Trust me, I'll be doing the gardening, and every couple of days I look around, there'll be a new ornament looking back at me, thinking, where did you come from?
Yeah, with those, you know, you can get those frogs. They usually have the Chinese coins in their mouth. A Chinese coin in their mouth.
That's good luck.
Yeah, you have it sitting at the front door, facing in, like inside your house, facing in. That brings the money in and keeps the money in.
Now that light, if people watched, just made a weird flicker.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's 3 batteries it takes.
Someone's talking to you. I am the ghost of Figleaf Past, and I have come for a message for young Chamo. If you do not change your ways, stop watching a deviant in a van,
So,
you'll pay a price.
but she's got her frog.
The mist
facing her.
followed, and
What?
Fig leaf ghost from the past disappeared.
Oh, you're telling a ghost story. I'll turn them off shortly.
Everywhere you go in Australia, everywhere, you pull over, there's piles of rocks on top of each other. You go to the middle of nowhere, there's piles of rocks. And in some parts of Australia, you pull up and there are what you call flip-flops, we call thongs. There's whole trees
Full of thongs.
full of thongs.
Or shoes. And down where we used to live at Mandurah, there was a part fence that you put a padlock on. What they do here in Australia too, the kids do it, they get just ordinary rocks from wherever and they paint them and they leave, well they haven't done it so much now, but they leave them in parks or on pathways, anywhere where people walk or go, and then other kids find them and they'll have little drawings on them or little messages, and they either can put it back or they can keep it or they can put one in its place. It's a really cute idea actually.
That's cool. Used to be a thing in Germanic tribes that when you went to another village, you took a particular rock from your village and you would leave it on a big rock in their village so they knew you were there. Sort of like a census count, I suppose.
Yeah,
No, we've never been confined to the house.
Well,
We can go down to like the
Essential.
hardware store. We can go out a bit more than other people because we're still finishing off the house, so we have essential business. But we don't. We've hardly left the house. We've had so much to do here that we have no need to.
They're doing that here too, Buttercup, with painting rainbows on the rocks, but also putting rainbows on the actual footpath, just with the washable chalk stuff that
I hear
kids can get.
Shemo is going to paint a rainbow underneath his fig leaf, but he only got enough room for one colour.
Some things we have, yeah, we're only
we can
allowed
buy
to.
paint and everything. That's not a problem.
No, but with paint, no, that's not a problem. We've still got restrictions on like boxes of tissues and stuff.
But everyone's being smart here. Like we've bought certain things and people have dropped them off and they'll place them down and then we'll move them. So we're keeping our distances even when we do things like that. Supermarkets are very strict. There's only X amount of people allowed in them. You have a certain dot to wait on. 2 people go out, 2 people can go in. So they're very conscious. So we're implementing, I think, what will be normal for the next couple of years. That's what will happen in Australia. No one's too fussed about it. Everyone's getting used to the new ways of doing things.
On that picture I sent you, Buddy, people are doing that as well. You know, they're putting their teddy bears outside, so when families go for walks, kids count them or spot the teddy or stuff like that.
It's bringing out a lot of the good in people, Shamo. And like I said, unfortunately, there are those people that are getting angry. But if you have no money and you are hungry, you probably have every right to be angry.
There's a sign just down there somewhere on the road, big sign that someone put up, and it says something like, "We will get through this."
There was another one with that scarecrow on the side of the road,
Yeah.
just with a smile on it.
I mean, I don't know how many of you do Facebook, but there's a Facebook page. It's gone viral. Australia started it. Bin Isolation Day. People doing all sorts of funny things, putting their bins out, getting dressed up. Oh my God, some of the stuff.
Yeah, Jim, it would do. And I'll tell you what is happening. And even though all of you people that come in this room are very stoic smart, careful. Every one of us are building up these frustrations within us, just little bits adding on top of each other. And because you're smart, you release it in certain ways, probably on certain channels on YouTube. But what I'm saying is everyone's being affected by this. There is no one immune to the psychological restrictions, I suppose, that are occurring. Our world has stopped spinning and it's weird. So don't get angry with yourself if some days you wake up grumpy and miserable and shitty, because that's all those little bits and pieces gathering. Just got to learn to shake them off when you can.
And have chocolate.
That'll help.
I think I'll go in a minute.
Are you going to go through the door or the window?
I'll go through the window door.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think it may be time for us to toodle. Toodle pip. And tomorrow we will have fruit trees. There'll be 2 apple trees, a mandarin tree, and a lemon tree. And another little lemon tree we've got. Might actually use one of those bins to grow garlic in. That might be an idea.
Oh, yes, you did say that.
Yeah, if you think about it logically, you're listening to the news or watching the reports, people passing away, restrictions, can't get some of this, can't go out. And like I say, even though most of you are very stoic, it will build up in you and you've got to be aware of it. It's not an unnatural feeling, it's normal to feel frustrated. The anger can come from frustration, so if you're aware of the frustrations, deal with them, and hopefully the anger won't rise. But like I say, if you wake up one day and yell at the postman for no particular reason, scream and shout and be walking outside bare naked, bar a fig leaf, well, it's just a release factor. You know, I'm sure the postman won't take it personally. May never deliver to your house again.
It's probably got a woolly fig leaf because it's cold there still. It's insulated.
Well, I did hear rumours, and this is only through the Canadian press, okay? And I'm not saying this is true. But I've been saying fig leaf. They're saying clover leaf.
Come
possibly.
on, Buddy, do your job. Buddy, you still there?
We're from this planet. We've been here for 5 million years.
I haven't.
Yes, that's right. Spousal homicide.
Okay. Thanks, Buddy. Buddy, butterfly, butterlicious. We're in Australia.
We are one. We are many. From all the lands on earth we come. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You are, we are. From the same village with a little rock in the middle of the forest. Tonight's musical entropes after this show will be Beethoven's Fifth Concerto, played with 2 dried up carcasses of caterpillars rubbed together in sequence
Snap,
to
Buddy.
the actual Beethoven's Fifth.
I was just about to ask Julian where they're from. Go on.
Do
Sing
do
it.
do do.
Du-du-du-dum.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I think Elvis is singing a song for
Argentina.
China, and it's Return to Sender. Boom, boom. I'm from Tandil, Argentina. Welcome. We have lots of Argentinians in Australia. They always have the best beef houses. They love
Oh,
cooking
what
slow
about
cooked
that?
meat.
Yeah.
Yum.
What about that food truck?
Yeah, that's an Argentinian
Oh,
guys.
that's so
And they're funny.
Chamo.
No, you are from the boy Chamo. You are Russian, disguising yourself as Canadian. We know what you're doing.
We also have a sense of humour in here, Julian. Chamo. Well, I hope you're safe, Julian, over there.
If anything, we are Figolonians. What time is it there?
It is 9:20 at night on a Saturday night.
Yeah. And where you are, it's morning time in Argentina.
Yeah, well, that's where we are. It's 9:20 at night on a Saturday.
It's probably about 11 a.m., I think, where he is in Argentina, roughly. Or 10, can't be sure. Whatever you do, Chemo, don't tell anyone. This is our little village. You understand?
Hey, Scarlett.
Tax time. A banker mathematician can't go for. Whoop, too quick. So, okay, 1 plus 1. The banker answers 2, of course. The second simple answer is 2. The accountant then stands up, says, shut the door, and says to the interviewer, why do you need it to be? Yes. It is 10:20 a.m. Let me see what you're having for breakfast. I imagine it's something to do with fruit
Bread.
and probably porridge. Here we go. That's my guess. Hello, Scarlett.
Buttercup. I have to make excuses for Chamo now.
Yes, Chamo is an adoption. We are Figolonians. We haven't figured where he's come from.
Oh, exciting.
Hence, we
Charlotte.
call him Little Fig Leaf. Your hat is almost done. Sometimes,
Yeah, it is buffering here sometimes, Charlotte. We've actually had some rain, believe it or not.
someone call it rain.
Coffee and French toast. Oh, nice.
Very good. So you're just knocking that back so you can go off to work by opening the front door and closing it again and coming back inside. Not sure what the lockdown in Argentina looks like.
Yeah, actually, Julian, what's it like there for you?
Well, if they're smart, they'll be isolating
Haven't
themselves.
actually heard anything on the news about Argentina.
It's Argentina.
Argentina, sorry. If they come into the chat long enough, they'll know that I can't say something
Yes,
properly.
Gemma was born in Brazil to a Brazilian woman and a Russian KGB agent. He was then smuggled out of the country during the Bay of Pigs, taken back to Stalingrad, where he learnt his education. His formal education ended at age 5. He then worked for the KGB. Code name, Fig Leaf. Still buffering. I do apologise for that.
I don't know, maybe it's the Scarlet.
We are 20,000 kilometres away from your Scarlet.
I'm not buffering now. What about you, Buddy?
You got snow. Oh, okay. Welcome to spring, Scarlet. Well, you'll be happy to know, Scarlet, today I dug about 2 tonne of cow shit and organic compost and filled my wine barrels in preparation for tomorrow's fruit trees to go in. Along with that, I made a loaf of wholemeal bread.
Which is what all we've had today.
Yeah.
And filled me up.
It was good. Good line, excellent line. Good line knows the law well. Excellent line knows the judge well. Yes. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yep, we do quarantine here too. We just can go out for essentials.
Yeah, that's good, Julie.
Oh, hey, Gringo. Oh, bought me a coffee.
Wah,
Thank you.
wah, 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 wah.
Where's me chocolate?
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, look. Here's the girl. Ladies and gentlemen, stand and applaud our living legend, Danny G. Actually, no, we just hide the notification from you, Danny. That's just what we do.
I know. I have to go search for his channel myself, Danny.
Let's do it this way. I'm going to say a couple of words and you're going to say the other word. For Danny, our frontline girl. Hip hip.
Hooray!
I'm waiting for the text to raise. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
We know what you're doing, Danny. We're very proud of you, all of us. Mystic had some bad news today. We were in Germany this time last year, and I met Mandy's auntie, and unfortunately her brother, or Mandy's uncle, passed away today due to the virus. None of us are going to go untouched, even though that's a long way away, still family.
Yeah.
So I suppose the old words, just keeping it real. It is real. It is affecting a lot of people.
Oh, Fanny, I've done stuff like that. I've gone to work when I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I've done that once.
I sent the kids to school and it wasn't school. Old Gringo said he'll pay Sasquatch for some bread.
Oh, it was nice bread, actually. It was good. Wholemeal. Hear the birds at night?
No, that's that new puppy. Someone's got a
Is
new
it?
puppy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's mean. They've locked a puppy outside or something. If you listen carefully, it sounds a bit like Shamo. Yep. Yes, I'll be writing you a song at the end of this, Danny. The Ballad of Danny G. Can you hear Shamo? He's looking in through the window.
JJ Danny doesn't even watch him.
I've been flirting with Japanese and Vietnamese for the last week.
Learning Japanese.
All they've sent me is boxes of rice. But they want hundreds of dollars for them. I call it love.
Oh, washing windows.
Is it time for another cuppa? Because I do feel like one, actually.
Okay.
I'll put it on. I shall make.
No, hang on, I'll bring them in. Because I want to see your legs. Oh. I can't unplug him. Where are we? Wax on, wax off seeds. Yes. Danny, like my lights. Sorry, I called you Danny. Should be Fanny. Around my bookcase. Lock him in the house. I can't. What's he admiring? Look at those legs, girls. Quick.
When one never loved me, how you let me go.
There we go.
Down in the long street, I breathe hotel, I get so lonely, baby. I get so lonely. I get so lonely, I could die. That's enough of that nonsense.
What was the last book you read? What was the last book I read? Probably, it's down. What was the last book I read? It would have been something to do with spirituality. How's that? Look at that. Thank you, Patty. He's like a cool Santa. Julian said you're a cool Santa.
What?
Actually, he got asked to play Santa once, but he said no. Same as he got asked to be a stripper at a women's night once too. Ah, that was so funny. I said, go, do it, do it. Oh, yeah, you probably haven't seen much of an update, have you? See? Yeah, I have a lot of crap.
God's sake, don't show any windows, you know.
I am, I'm showing the windows on my
You'll,
cupboard.
You'll start having spasms.
I have a lot of crap, I know.
This is my homemade wholemeal bread. Mmm.
Yeah, no, he got asked to play Santa once. Do the bend and snap seeds. Do the bend and snap, I don't even know what that is. See, that's one of my other scales. We were talking about scales the other night. There's a set, and there's another old set of scales. If we could send you bread, we would. That's an oil burner. You put the oil in there with water, like a couple of drops of oil, fill it up with water, and then in the back you put the candle, a tea light candle. A tea light candle sits on that, and then you put that in there, and then that warms up, and it's a beautiful smell through the house. I don't know if anyone's... I'm sure you just know what oil burners are. That old lamp there was my mummy's. I got that when I was in Scotland. What else do you want to look at? What was the character's name, Gringo? Oh, chat's frozen. What have I done? There we go. All me stuff up there. I'm just showing you around while Caesar's making a coffee, so tell me if you get bored. Did you wash your hands?
Yes.
Did you only shake once? Twice?
I shook the shamo out of it.
My little corner there. Thank you. We're loving the kitchen too. Who's that? Man, I've got a stranger in the house. Look at those legs.
They're making a cup of
And a Tuss,
instant coffee.
and a Tuss Cafe, instant coffee. Oh no, you didn't give me my coffee?
No. Shall survive.
Show you windows. So I have some more lights to put up. It's just turn the lights out up so you can't see now, which I'm going to actually put the lights around the buffet, which you can't see now. No, it's all right. It's okay. I'll take it back out. And then you come out to this mess. We haven't got to cleaning this up yet. I'll just show his legs as he walks past. Oh, look at that. Look at that defined muscle.
Yeah, mate. I want to see a video of your legs.
All right, there you go. I'll let you set it up.
I know. There you go, people. Back to normal transmission. Your legs are better than that, Danny. Now, come on. It's a slight exaggeration, Shamo. I've only cleaned them once.
Yeah. Whoa, that's strong. I'll be doing more than peeing tonight.
Sounds interesting.
Coffee doesn't keep me awake. Have we lost Julian? Have we bored Julian yet? I think we've
We're going now, coffee. No, this is instant coffee. Oh, we drink percolated coffee, don't get me wrong. But at home, we tend to drink instant coffee. No, that's not Hugh Hefner. That's Hefuna. I am fortunate to have played a lot of sport. It's called memory muscle. Think she fainted, Danny?
And she did say before, actually, I think maybe be right back somewhere along the line. Bratty, you missed me showing the kitchen.
What's her? It didn't happen. Tell no one. Your life will not be worth it if you reveal the secret of the kitchen. If Danny is fortunate one time to come to Australia, I promise you we shall do a duet on her ukulele. I might even get one myself. Can you hear Shamo in the background? much of the windows would get done. It's not such a large fig leaf after all. So what song? I think we picked it a while ago, didn't we, Danny? If you got here, we would sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I could do that, but man, that really stretches my voice.
What's that?
Tiptoe through the tulips.
Tiny Tim.
No, it's too hard. I'll tear a groining muscle if I sing that high.
Who's asked you to sing like Tiny Tim?
Somewhere over
Oh,
the
Tiptoe.
rainbow. My hands are too big, Shama. I need to have a smaller set of instruments if I'm going to delve down there. We can both sing, Danny. Everybody can sing.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, well, it's true to an extent.
No, it's not.
I had an uncle that used to sing with 30 of us around a piano, and he shouldn't have been singing, but he did sing.
Yeah, well, that's what you say about me. I can't sing.
I've never said you're a bad singer. I just said you should take up dancing. You notice I said that when she was out of earshot. See, I'm not such a fool after all. You can hum. Best way to learn to sing is with an instrument.
Oh, one.
No, my hands are quite smooth, like my butt. Check them out. See? There's my hand. There's my butt.
I think they're training that puppy.
I was told a long time ago, to learn to sing, you have to learn to hum some tough old songs. Now try this while you're at the computer. No one else is going to hear you. Hang on, I'll read Jojo's comment. Bleeding, bruised and street, psychologist rushes to a man and says, "Dear Lord, whoever did this really needs some help." If you hum Old Man River, think about how it was sung and hum it. You'll know it.
I can't
Fig
hum.
Leaf might be too young for that though. They didn't play that in Russia.
I can't hum in tune either. I can't even whistle.
Very hard. There's actually lots of inflection, and humming it is harder than singing it.
No, there's a
Say, what money? He's replying for singing lessons. I fall for it every time. Thank you, husband. Here, have your coffee. Yes, it tastes a little bit like almonds, but still, drink it. Things will be better. Old Man River. Actually, another good song to learn is from the movie, was it Paint Your Wagon? Way up north, they've got a name for wind and rain and fire. The fire's test, the wind is Joe. They call, no, I fucked that up, don't you? It's late at night.
called
They call the wind Danny G. Danny G. Danny G. They call the wind Danny G. watch any good outdoor YouTube channels from Australia, filming, hunting, bushcraft? There's been a few over the years, but I used to do all those things. I haven't got it anymore. I have some, you know, the old days where you carried a huge battery around with you and you had a camera that looked like something that they took video of, you know, Apollo 11 taking off. That was sort of the first camera I used. And it was the late 70s, 79, when I actually went up north. And I didn't keep the VHS tape. It would have been very interesting to watch. Now, as an older man looking back 50 years ago.
Paddy, I have to remember that one. That's quite good, actually.
Yes, shepherd.
Now I'm buffering.
The last thing you want to see.
Did you read Paddy's comment?
What's the last thing you want to see? What's Danny going on about?
Go on, fine.
I need links, not stories. Well, yeah, no. Things you don't realise at the time, of course. Oh, yeah, and pull my finger. Here, what do you want me to do, Daddy? Pull my finger. Okay.
Now, what I was asking, do you on YouTube? Do you watch anyone within Australia?
There's a
Bushcraft
few
and
that
all
I have
sort of
watched. I mean, I've watched, I can give you names that you could research.
fishing, hunting, bushcraft.
What was Harry's name? Harry Taylor? Not Harry Taylor. Harry Butler.
Oh, Harry Butler.
If you look up
Oh.
Harry Butler,
Oh my God, he's from the 1800s.
no, he's not. He's from the 70s and 80s. And there's another one you could look up called Bush Tucker Man. His name is Les Giddens. Bush Tucker Man. He did a series of television shows. It will teach you a lot about bush tucker. Very interesting stuff.
So, Gringo, that you've not got that link properly. You'll have to delete that and try again because we can't click on it.
Message retracted.
It ain't working.
It worked, Pajamo. 5 minutes later.
Well, it didn't for me. Oh. Yes, that
Yeah.
could be it, Gringo.
He
Yeah.
sounds like a really nice person, High Country. And he's a bit frustrated at the moment, not being able to get out. Because the containment in New Zealand is even tougher than Australia. But they have, I think, a total of 5 deaths.
I think we've lost Butty. She did say be right back, but she
I
didn't
should
come
not
back.
have shown the leg. She's in a hot powdered mess on the kitchen floor. Oh Lord, won't you buy me Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive pickups. I must make amends. Oh Lord, won't you buy me Mercedes Benz? Who sang that? Quick quiz. Who was famous for singing it, I should say. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? That's it. The winner tonight is Old Gringo with Janis Joplin. Died at the age of 27, like many other singers.
Better in their prime. Good singers will lose.
I think she sang the other one too, didn't she? Me and Bobby McGee. La 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 la.
Yeah, but she wasn't the original.
I think she was.
No, she wasn't. Chris Christopherson.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Christopherson wrote it and was the original singer. He just never got a hit with it.
What was her band's name? The Fig Leaf Quartet, of course.
Oh, okay, there's
You
something
will well
going
have
on.
heard, Paddy.
Must be me. I can't click on that either, Danny.
Shasta Valley Outdoorsman.
Oh, now it worked.
What's the difference between Aussie rugby team and the Sydney Harbour Bridge? No one has walked over the Sydney Harbour Bridge. This is true. Actually, I think you find that the Aussie rugby team's got more trophies than anyone else, Jojo. And did you know the Australian baseball team has beaten the US on 2 occasions? That's right. World mighty power, the US baseball team, has been flogged by the Australian baseball team. We won't mention that because it does bring people down and they start to shake, have tremors, but still, we did steal your America's Cup as well. I shouldn't have mentioned that. The Big Brother and Holding Company. One of the singers that I grew up with that I liked, but he sort of sung like with a half breath. It's not time. You know who I'm singing about? Just relax and take it easy. I'm half breathing when I sing, but that's how I do it. Find a girl, settle down. Fig leaf, stop being a clown and look around. You are old, but you're happy.
So you don't want to put shorts on, Jojo, after looking at C's legs. Is that what you're saying?
That's only one leg. I'm like a crab. The other one's a big, fat, engorged leg. Looks like a large squid caught in Japan. The one leg's good. A bit like the Elephant Man, yes. Beautiful cups and the fig leaves. Yeah, it sounds like a band. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the Ed Sullivan Show, all the way from Russia, now living in Canada, the Fig Leaf Band. And here's their first song. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. I'm back to buffering. I watched some Rolling Stones video. Yes, the Rolling Stones, I never really got into them as a kid. Mind you, they're 150 years old and they're still going. Got to give them some credit. What was the name of the Lone Ranger's song? Hi Ho Silver.
Okay, it's not buffering. Yeah, mine started buffering, Scarlett. Actually, it's stopped now.
You saw them 3 times. Excellent.
So you missed, I see, singing, Scarlett. Elvis.
I did not sing.
You did.
Do not take that. Do not reverse the tape. It didn't happen.
Oh.
Yes, it actually was, wasn't it, old Ringo? The William Tell Overture. My favourite song is Wild Horses. Is that by the band Sherbet?
No, Wild Horses was,
Yeah, Sherbet sang that.
no.
Wild Horses.
Oh, was it?
I use a weed whacker to shave my legs. Why do you use a weed whacker to shave your legs? Because the brush cutter is on higher.
Oh, Rolling Stones. Maybe it's a different Wild Horses. Another one Steve's just thinking of. Oh, Bonanza. My mum's favourite, Chemo. You love bonanza and mash.
I used to sit down and have my dinner to that. If MASH was a true reflection of the Korean War, it went for twice as long. Do you remember F Troop?
Work for me.
F Troop.
Gringo. Yeah.
Smoke alarm emergency. Are you cooking again, Buttercup? You know you're not supposed to put sausages in the toaster. Be away with you, girl.
Did you take my cooking lessons, Buddy? Because I use the smoke detector to tell me when my toast is ready. Is it all good, Buddy, or what?
She was toasting fish fingers and they caught on fire. Put that in your insurance claim, see what happens.
I'm buffering now. No, stop. No, we're not all old, for goodness sake. Seeds always says that. That's right, refuse to be old.
Hey, everybody, learn this song. Forever young, I wanna be forever young.
Buddy, open all windows, get the tea towel, and swish it, if you're tall enough, wave it at the smoke detector. That's
Or
what I get
open a
seeds
window
to do.
or a door.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rod Stewart. You like Rod Stewart. I'm going to sing you a song from Rod Stewart one day, Danny, just for you.
I like Rod Stewart.
Have I told you lately that I love you? Da, 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 da. Oh, Maggie. Bad girl, Maggie. Seducing a young schoolboy. It's a bit like Mrs. Robinson, isn't it?
Buttercup's so hot. She said,
Yeah, that's what it is. He walked past the smoke alarm. The smoke alarm went, "Wow, baby. Oh, my God. Come on back here and I'll whistle to you." Yeah. Meep, meep, meep,
It
meep,
must
meep,
have
meep.
been because she saw your legs. She got all hot.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, gosh.
I can hear Chamo singing, because he's so old to be singing this song. Old dogs and children, watermelon wine.
But even I know that song,
Yeah?
and I'm not old.
Well, we've had one. It's only fair that you should have one, Danny. Yeah, it's a bit of male rivalry going on here for Buttercup's attention.
Yes.
She's the hot little mama. Yeah, mama.
I know.
Boys, I'm knocking at the door.
I only spit my coffee
I'm
there.
going to get the shotgun and make sure these boys are going to be in their place. Yes.
Oh, dear. Numerals. What's numerals, Scarlett?
You know, like, Chamo, he makes us feel like we're all in a nursing home, like this is our virtual nursing home without nurses.
Yeah, we've got Danny.
That's true. Oh, Danny, I feel a little bit hot. You mind coming over here and take my temperature? What do you mean I don't have to pull my shorts down? Damn, I'll pull them up then.
Okay, some sort of sign language going on here that I don't understand.
Yes, secret squirrel stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, not only are you looking at French doors, you're imagining that you're cleaning the windows on them.
Come on,
Yes.
it's a beautiful sight. You wait till Christmas and I have everything decorated.
Chim chimney, chim chim. Chim chim chiroo. What was the name of the singer that sang this too? Very famous family, and he's passed away recently.
I can't remember.
One of the greatest characters on TV. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. You all know who that was. Do you hear Chemo? Because we won't let him in.
I don't know, can you hear that puppy dog? Someone just a couple of houses down obviously have got a new dog.
Dick Van Dyke, along with Julie Andrews, in the movie. What was the name of the movie? Come on. It's pretty simple. You get 2 bonus points and a fig leaf. Correct, Scarlett Popperfield with Mary Poppins. Just a spoonful of chitty chitty bang bang. Same era, wrong movie. 10-point loss to old Gringo.
Open windows, Buddy.
Just
Get
a
the tea towel and fan it.
Or hit it with a sledgehammer. It will work. If you miss, of course, you'll be doing roof repairs for a week. Just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, medicine go down. God, I wish Shamo would shut up. Someone chuck him a beaver. He'd probably like that. Yes, that's a good one, isn't it, Scarlett? Feed the birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag. Elvis, scientists say the universe is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. I forgot to mention morons. So true. You do realise, Jojo, that he is just a figment of his own imagination. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Dog, sing it with me. Yes. Poor little bugger.
Well, they're probably trying to train him.
That or they've gone out somewhere.
No, because there's long periods of time he's quiet. Yeah. He only, I don't know, I'd take a guess, 2 months old maybe by his yapping.
Sounds young.
Yeah, it's someone obviously has got a puppy because this is the first night we've ever heard it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a preview of Elvis's new videos coming up this week. There's no real difference between you and George Clooney. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we are outside.
And it's food.
That is a
Yeah,
lonely cry.
Yep.
What are you saying? Why have you forsaken me? I'm but a small puppy. It's not the destination that counts, it's the journey. Success is merely a signpost. Yeah, I'm all alone. No one wants me. The cat's looking at me funny. Yes, of course, I can't do anything about it. If I did know them, because it's only like 3 or 4 houses away. And because of our laws, I can't do anything.
No, I'm sure.
Normally, I'd go up the road and knock on the door,
I'm sure they're home.
but I'm not allowed to. You're getting ground beef, Shamma. Be thankful for that. Well, if I would be in normal circumstances, Scarlett, I would have already gone and done something, but I can't.
No, it's actually been going like this on and off since about 5 o'clock today, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we think they've only just got the puppy.
Shammo does the same thing in shopping centres. And old ladies pick him up and say, there, you'll be okay.
Yeah, it is sad. Like I said, today's the first time since about 5 o'clock on and off we've been hearing it.
Yes. Well, if you're going to get an animal, you have to accept from the day one it's part of the family. That's how it is. No, it's okay to cry, Scarlett. You have empathy,
That's right.
which is an empowering emotion. Welcome back, Danny.
You got your coffee, Danny? I think they're taking him in now.
TV can insult your intelligence, but nothing rubs it in like a computer. True.
So Bucky's still tackling the smoke detector, I think.
No, I
No,
think
we
either he's
can-
been let in
he's
or
been let in.
he's just putting head down on his front paws and given up for a while.
Because
It's not cold. He's not going to be cold, so
we can hear it's more muffled. They've taken him in now. That's what they've been doing since 5 o'clock. So I think they only got him today.
Danny G is a gorgeous-looking woman. She's funny, intelligent. The only thing I need to send her husband is a hitman.
See how much she loves us? She nearly ditched us for bacon and eggs.
Oh,
Danny, you can't
what a
do
stupid
that.
thing to do, Danny. Yes, even by mistake. You know, Jojo, if you had an infinite amount of monkeys with an infinite amount of typewriters, eventually they would complete the full works of Shakespeare word for word. Unfortunately, I don't think he has a typewriter, even though he is ape-like.
Must be outside again.
I think he just went through the give-up process for a little bit.
Oh, there we go. Here's Buttercup. Oh, it's a, yeah.
So
It's a puppy.
doggy, either being... I don't, look, for me, if you have a dog, it's inside with you and it comes out, does this business, it's part of the family. I know some people have guard dogs, I understand that, but if you have a pet at home, it's part of the family. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you are being very selfish and only want the puppy while it's a puppy. It's always a cute puppy. When he gets older, you just kick him out the back and open the gate and let him run away, like a lot of people do.
Okay, buffering.
There's nothing I can do about the buffering.
Oh, it's Shakespeare. I didn't realise that was Shakespeare, Scarlett. But I have heard that.
Shakespeare. Yes. We actually stood outside his house last year this time. He obviously had a few bob. Not a bad looking house, even for that time of the centuries. Yes, you can see Mick Elvis saying, "Spot, damn Spot," on top of his head, of course. Out, damn Spot. She's a very caring person. She is an eternal spirit. The Witches 3. Richard III. Of course, they found him in a car park, didn't they?
No, Richard III found him in a car park. What?
Well, Richard III was a play, but they did actually find his body in a car park. Remember that twisted spine? Yes. Yes, Shamo's setting small fires outside Buttercup's window. Yes, I can see Russia from Marbury Inn, though. Mm-hmm. Danny, we are only as sweet as the palate you put before us. You are so beautiful to me. You're everything I ever hoped for. You're everything. You are so. Oh, got to stop. Meringue lemon pie. Sorry.
Oh,
Caught me in my tracks.
that's Seed's favourite. Yeah, the bread was awesome. That's what we had as big sandwich tonight, and that's all we've had.
Yeah,
It was
filled us
so
up.
filling.
I had plans to make, I'll show you tomorrow, some camembert stuffed with walnuts, pistachios, and a yummy chutney.
Oh, chili con carne. Well,
Oh, I like chili con carne.
Seeds like that too, but
You're trying to
I
seduce me, aren't you, Scarlett?
I don't like chili con carne, but Seeds does.
Love it.
Yes, things always happen for a reason. Sometimes we don't see it or understand it at
If
that
I
time.
tell you something, you may be a little bit shocked, but we have all met before. I am a gatekeeper, and I've shown you the way home. That's all you get told, no more.
Yes, Buddhist is fascinating to me, actually.
Well, Danny, my beliefs are very simple. We are all part of something wonderful.
Yeah, good energy. That's why these distancing, whatever they call it during this thing, I hope they keep it up. 'Cause sometimes people, I'll be standing in a line somewhere because I'm a bit of empathy, pick up on energy. Sometimes I think to myself, oh, I wish you'd just step back 2 steps.
You had to mention the word bacon, didn't you, Gringo? Now we're going to lose Danny. She's going to look to the kitchen and say, it's full of stars.
Okay, Buddy.
We are one, but we are many. From around this world we come. You are, I am. We are Figolonians.
Figolonians. I live on bacon. Oh dear. And bread. Oh yes. See, yes,
Absolutely, Danny.
I like bacon, but I will have the bread and the chocolate. Thank you.
With your luck, Shamo, you're probably going to come back as a pig.
All right, Danny.
Bacon sizzling.
Actually, we were going about an hour ago.
Eggs gently cracked, placed in the pan.
Danny, could I
Toaster pressed down.
please have my eggs dead?
Fresh butter.
And yeah, thanks, Danny.
Coffee. Orange juice.
Oh yes, chocolate.
And that's just the order Danny gave her husband.
Yes, so if anyone ever makes me eggs, please kill them.
Yes, it's got to bounce, unfortunately.
Oh geez, yum.
But it's your choice to come back, Shamo. But there is no coming back. I don't want to shatter your illusions. There's a forward process.
No, you have a chance to come back.
Your collective dreams are from you from a different time.
You stay safe too, Danny.
Be careful, Danny, and eat lots of bacon. You know, bacon can actually kill the virus. I don't know if that's true, but I'm printing T-shirts to that effect. The Hound of the Basketball. Well, since Danny's left, guys, there's no point continuing, really. You know, the ebb of the room won't flow. It'll be a case of everyone's sort of feeling low and despondent. I understand.
That's not true.
But we've still got Scarlet and Buttercup.
But I'm going to go get ready for bed anyway. It's actually 10:15.
Yes, it's time to toodaloo. All right, good people with good thoughts.
Stay safe.
Yes, this is really me with makeup. It's amazing what they can do these days. Yes. Anyway, have a great day. Make sure you laugh. Have a bit of a cry if you have to. Kick a rock. But make sure you're wearing steel cap boots if you're doing that. Until next time, be safe. Good night.